Hey everyone, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever it is that you guys celebrate.
A Festivus for the rest of us!
And also, a Happy New Year to all of you bus nuts out there. There are a lot of exciting things coming up this year. First of all, coming up this January, I'll be live streaming the reveal of the never-before-seen, brand new, redesigned Prevost H345 when I head out to the United Motorcoach Association National Bus Expo in Orlando, Florida, this January 11th through the 14th. The actual live stream is going to be on Thursday, January 12th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Motorcoach World. Don't miss out. And while I'm there, I'll be showing you guys all the newest bus designs and technologies that will be on the showroom floor. Also, coming this February 4th through the 7th of 2023 is the Busworld North America Expo in Detroit, Michigan. I'll be there crawling through and exploring all the brand new buses like Van Hool's, MCIs, as well as Daimler coaches, BYD, Prevost, Temsa, Irizar, and I've even heard that there's going to be a Marco Polo bus there. And of course, I'll take all of you bus nuts along with me if you want to see just what goes on at these two giant bus conventions. Hey, happy holidays all you bus nuts, geeks, and enthusiasts out there. Welcome to another episode of Motorcoach World. My name is James. Coach buses are designed to travel long distances. The engine has to be able to handle long periods of driving. The chassis and suspension has to be able to handle constant bumps and wear and tear while traveling hundreds, if not up to 1,000 miles a day. But just like anything man-made, eventually it's going to break on you.
Coolant leak, everybody. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Bridge, we have a new problem. We're 5 minutes from a warp core breach. There's nothing I can do.
And given that a motor coach in North America spends most of their lives over long stretches of vast and open roads, chances are a breakdown is going to happen while your bus is on a trip in the middle of nowhere, packed full of passengers with deadlines to meet. Now today, we're going to talk about a topic every motor coach driver, manager / owner dreads: a breakdown, or otherwise known as road failures. Road failures in the coach bus industry are unavoidable. I mean, no matter how well you maintain your fleet, no matter how well trained your technicians are, and no matter how new your fleet of buses are,
it is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
It's only a matter of time before a motor coach company will experience a road failure. And usually, it's not something that bus companies like to divulge to the public, primarily because it really hurts the brand image of the bus company involved. I mean, chances are many of the passengers stranded on your bus during a road failure will probably be leaving you 1-star reviews on the internet, as well as posting the situation all over their social media for their friends to see. On top of all of that negative publicity, your broken bus on the side of the road will act like a giant billboard with your company name and logo on the side, broadcasting to all the traffic driving past that your bus is broken.
What a piece of junk!
Now, no one likes it when a bus breaks down, especially when it happens in the middle of a trip with a bunch of passengers on board eager to get to their destination or flight that they've paid good money for. They probably also paid good money to book your bus or buses to get them there. Needless to say, when a road failure occurs, a lot of cursing is going on across all parties. Of course, the passengers are going to be upset, but it's also a bad day for the driver, as well as the management team and technician team back at the company. The driver is now faced with up to 56 people that are probably going to take out their frustrations on him or her, since the driver is the closest company representative physically being there. The management team and technicians back at base are no doubt also running around during this time trying to figure out what is wrong with the coach bus so that they can make a decision on how to get the passengers moving again, as well as whether or not they can fix the problem on the side of the road, or if the coach bus will have to be towed back or somewhere else. Also, to get the passengers going again, the company will have to make a decision on calling a third-party bus company nearby to help pick up the stranded passengers and get them on their way again, or if a rescue bus from their own company can make it in decent time without keeping the passengers waiting for too long. Or in some situations, doing both. That is, if drivers and equipment are even available. Now, when road failures occur during the busy season, most bus companies, including your own, may tell you that there are no drivers and buses available, leaving management to find other options. And if you think that calling a tow truck for your car is expensive, calling a tow truck to tow a bus can cost from $5,000 up to $10,000 depending on how far they have to tow it. And that doesn't even include the repair bill yet. Road failures can happen due to many different things. It's not always the fault of the bus company or mechanic, as many people would assume right off the bat. Obviously, there are things a bus company can do to reduce the number of road failures. Well-trained technicians on preventative maintenance, which means investing on sending technicians to training courses and extra training time, which means more labor hours for the company. Having the right tools is also important, but again, that's an investment because tools are really expensive, especially specialty tools to work on diesel motor coaches. Strict routine maintenance schedules for buses, meaning replacing parts after a certain amount of operating hours before the part is actually broken or malfunctioning. Basically, investing on repairs before a bus suffers any kind of breakdown. A good training curriculum and retraining schedules for the drivers on how to do a thorough pre-trip is also a huge factor in preventing road failures. Many times, a driver before leaving on his or her trip can catch a potential problem before even leaving the garage, if the driver is well trained on what to look for. And it's up to the technicians to work with the driver to either switch the driver to a different coach bus or repair the problem before the driver leaves, if there is enough time to do so. And finally, the age of the fleet also plays a factor in road failures. I mean, obviously, the newer the bus, the less chance it's going to break down, right? But no, not as much as you would think. But all of this is going to cost you as a fleet owner a lot more money up front, but it will save you on the cost of road failures and breakdowns later on. It will also reduce the amount of damaged reputation you suffer from your customers. But I can't stress enough that no matter how much you put in, if you are in the bus business long enough, you will encounter a road failure eventually. The most common causes for road failures today are caused by a lot of the new technology that's being added to modern day coach buses. For example, the new regen diesel engines are designed to remove the particulate matter or unburnt fuel from the diesel exhaust, which relies on an exhaust filter as well as a bunch of computer chips and sensors, which will shut the coach down in the middle of the highway when the sensors fail or if the filter becomes clogged due to the engine not generating enough heat. This happens frequently during cold weather or if the coach bus is doing local shuttling work, which doesn't let the engine run at high enough RPMs as it would during a long highway trip to actually clean the filter. Now, I did an entire video on this a while ago. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link down in the description box below as well as up here somewhere. Other causes of road failures are as simple as blowing a tire. Even if the coach bus has a set of brand new tires, no one can really predict a tire blowing out due to running over road debris or a tire defect. A coach bus could also develop an air leak, resulting in your bus not being able to air up, which means you can't use your brakes. The brakes won't unlock. During cold temperatures, a motor coach could develop ice in the airlines, blocking the airflow. Now, I could go on for hours with a list of different things that could cause a bus to suffer a road failure. Bottom line is, motor coaches are very complex pieces of equipment, even more so today compared to 10 years ago. They have a lot of moving parts and now a lot of additional computer chips. And the more bells and whistles you add to any vehicle, the more likely things are going to break. Now, if you are the driver of a motor coach that has just suffered a road failure, yes, your day just got a whole lot more stressful. You're probably not going to make it home in time for your kid's ballet recital, which means your spouse is probably going to be frustrated at you when you finally do make it home, whenever that may be. On top of that, your passengers are going to start asking you a lot of questions that you may not have the answers to yet. So while you are on the phone with a technician back at the bus garage trying to see if you can get your bus running again, you're undoubtedly being bombarded by questions like, "Excuse me, when are we going to get moving again? I have a flight to catch. Paid a lot of money to go on this trip and it's not acceptable that your bus broke down. I need to get going now." As a driver, it's hard to focus on what to do next with all these pressures hitting you all at once. For me, the first thing I do is make an announcement, being as transparent as possible to my passengers, letting them know what I do know at the moment and what I don't know. I also let them know who I am talking to on the phone right now and what the game plan is. This usually gets most of them to either stop yelling at me or bombarding me with questions that I can't yet answer. Now keep in mind, you will always have Karens on board that will still continue to scream at you and make your life even more miserable and delaying the entire process of getting them going again. So just kind of accept that. It's customer service. Next, I look around to make sure that my passengers are not in any danger. Some passengers will ask to get off the bus to stretch their legs. Well, if you're right next to an interstate, that would not be a wise thing to do, especially if they're school kids. But be absolutely clear with the manager or technician that is on the phone with you about every detail, including where you are at, and also be open to helping with the diagnostic process, as the technicians on the phone may ask you to get out of the bus and open engine hatches to look for or repair a few things. Now, whether you're a rookie driver or a seasoned one, handling a road failure is going to be stressful. Don't lose your cool in front of your passengers. They are relying on you to get them out of this, and they will lose confidence in you if you start panicking in front of them.
Main power's offline. We've lost shields. Our weapons are gone.
Perhaps today is a good day to die.
Just keep in mind that no matter what, you will get out of this and be home again. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Don't take your frustrations out on the technician or manager on the phone that's trying to help you. Just like the passengers trying to blame you, the driver, because they're frustrated, you're going to just prolong the process of recovery if you start chewing out the technician that's trying to help you find and fix the problem while on the phone. Plus, if your passengers are hearing you chew out your technicians and managers on the phone, your passengers are going to lose confidence in you as well. Don't try to play the I'm on your side card to the passengers. Now, I've seen this happen where a driver who realizes that the passengers are frustrated at the situation, these drivers will say things to the customers like, I told the technicians that this bus has problems, but they made me take it anyway. I knew this was going to happen all along. This happens all the time with this company. Or sometimes a driver will put on a show for the passengers while on the phone with the technicians and purposely say accusative things loud enough so that the passengers can hear the conversation. You know, I told you this bus wasn't going to work out. How come you guys can't keep the buses running? Now look what you've done to these poor passengers of mine. Now, you guys might think that you're helping to get the passengers on your side by throwing the company you work for under the bus, but really you're not. You're just making yourself look worse, and most people can see right through this and they'll lose confidence in your ability to get through the situation. Now, drivers, if you do work for a bus company that you truly feel like they do a poor job at sending you out with reliable equipment to drive, and believe me, there are some poorly operated bus companies out there all over the world, not just North America, my advice is to stop driving for them. I mean, don't wait for a breakdown to let it all out, especially in front of the passengers. Passengers, I realize you've probably paid a lot of money not only to book the bus, but also to the venue or flight that you're heading to, and now you may possibly miss it. And your first instinct is to either chew out the bus driver and or try to cancel the bus company by leaving as many negative reviews and one-star ratings as possible so that the rest of the world will never use this bus company again, causing their doors to shut and all their employees to lose their jobs. So first of all, neither one of these things you're doing is going to help the bus company help you to get moving faster. And second of all, your social media account is probably not significant enough to cause a company to close down. I mean, you're just not that important. Sorry to break it to you.
I f***ing hate you!
Yes, it does suck, and yes, it is the bus company's responsibility to somehow make this right for you, the customer that got stranded by using their services. But that's between you and the bus company you hired and should be handled at a later time once you are on your way again. Please understand that the first two priorities of any bus company during a situation like this is to, one, keep you safe, and two, to get you moving again as quickly as possible. Now, that may mean another bus will arrive to pick all of you up on the side of the interstate. That bus may even be from a different bus company because your company called the closest bus company in the area to come rescue you to minimize your delay. But if you as a passenger are spending this time trying to blow up the bus company's phones to yell curse words and make them feel like crap, or if you are constantly giving the driver a hard time while he or she is on the phone trying to resolve the problem, you're not only slowing down the recovery process for yourself, but as well as everyone on the bus with you.
Seriously?
Phooey.
I have never seen bleeping like that.
Now, if you are a level-headed passenger on the bus and you're witnessing another passenger doing all this, help the driver out and tell Karen to chill out, because Karen is slowing down the process of you getting going again. Now, as a technician or manager, getting a call from a driver informing you that he or she has broken down with a bus full of passengers is stressful for you as well. I mean, it may be in the middle of the night or during your kid's ballet recital. But as a manager or technician that is on call and responsible for handling these situations, you need to take action immediately. No, don't wait to finish your appetizer that the waiter is bringing to your table. Don't snooze for another 10 minutes. Don't wait until your kid finishes the triple cow sow on stage. This is what you signed on for as a manager or technician on call at a coach bus company. Get off your ass and start working on the situation immediately. Make sure you have all the facts. Don't assume anything. Make sure your questions are answered by the driver. Make sure your instructions are clear to the driver, as well as the bus or roadside technician going to rescue your broken bus. I have seen so much time wasted because the rescue bus or technician went to the wrong place because instructions were not clear, causing hours of delay. Get the necessary people involved on your management team, but make sure everyone is on the same page. Otherwise, things will get confusing for everyone, including the driver and the passengers. Don't get more than the necessary people involved on your management team thinking that you can just be lazy and make everyone else handle this, because then you will have too many cooks in the kitchen, which will make the situation worse. As a manager of a bus company, train your office and technician staff on situations like this so that everyone knows what they need to do when a road failure happens. This will minimize the reaction time to get your passengers on the move again. Also, don't hesitate to call the group leader or someone on the bus yourself to assure him that you, as well as their driver, are doing all you can do to get this resolved in the fastest manner possible. Be transparent. And finally, keep your driver in the loop, even if it means having to make that extra phone call after each step is taken. I mean, your driver is your direct communication to your customers who are all stranded on the same bus. Whether you're a driver, passenger, management/technician, just be nice to one another, especially during stressful times like this. I mean, anyone can be nice when it's easy and everyone is comfortable, but where your character really starts to show and where it really counts is when it's the hardest to be nice and courteous to one another during a stressful situation. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and happy holidays once again to all of you. And remember, if you're watching this, you are part of the Motorcoach world.